Hi, baby.
Hi, Bob.
Just was out in the world today. I let the ghost go on the beer. That was a thing that we made up. I think I made it up, and everybody, you know, the young army guy, the 17-year-old kid coming into the unit, and they're gonna fucking poison him, so they bring me down and drink with me. Like I didn't know what that was. People thought I'd never had tequila before. You people are going to become a victim of me. Anyway, yep, got a new can holder. Didn't talk about this yet. In Tequamanon Falls, in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We were there about a month or so ago, and in there, can I see your drink, baby? In the gift shop, her dad was there and he was buying everything, so you had to be really sneaky and sneak around. We tried to buy the hotel rooms, and he found out, and it almost became an argument in the mind of the woman running the desk at the place we stayed. She's like, I can't get in the way of a father and his daughter. But, you know, we were trying to sneak it in. But, so I snuck this in. I bought her a new, you know, she's got the Pabst cooler. It's still good. But I got her Tequamanon Falls, Michigan thing. And it fits so much. The Pabst cooler was built, can cooler was built for a 16-ounce Pabst, which is thicker. It's as thick as a real Pabst, like, you know. Mm-hmm. But so it would slide in and out. So I got her this. But then after I got her that, I was like, I could use a new can cooler, and I was looking at some of these with a name on it, and I'm like, I just didn't get it. And then I saw this thing sitting up on a shelf all by itself, away from can coolers. It was like I was drawn to it with my willingness to defend my dignity against buying a can cooler that I didn't want just because I said I needed one. No, patience is a virtue that sometimes borders on laziness and uncompleted affairs. But patience here came through, and I walked up and it was there, and look at that. It's like the Michelin Man, only he's black. It's a great, and it's got scuba gear. It's got one of the same neoprene, probably a 7mm for cold weather diving on the inside of this thing. And on there I saw this, and I was like, oh, what the hell is that? Top quality. And it screened Richard, and I thought, Archibald, Archie. Oh, that's close enough. It's the only one there is. And then I noticed there was a little king under there, so it's not even applying to me. It's just, it's Sir King Richard, and up here 100 top quality drink holder, and something here says 100% authentic. So evidently this is some kind of copyrighted can that was just waiting for me, and it has been the best can cooler I've ever had. So the thing is, we get home, we crack a beer, and I was outside in the world. I come back in, and we get out here, have some talks with a couple of people, and then we talk with each other. And I listen to her stories, and I'm so ready to tell a story. A lot of times I can't wait for her stories to be done. I have to interrupt because it relates. It relates.
We get excited.
All the things we do are they correlate. They're corollary, however you want to put it. But the thing is, I realized as I'm just so bad wanting to tell my story. Remembering something I'd read in psychology. Somebody wrote talking about the difference between women and men and how it is with the talks. They say women want to tell their story. They talk with all their friends and anybody they can get with, because when they have a story that has a problem, they're willing to get help from their friends and the people around. They want advice. They want help. It's a societal affair being a woman with the mitochondrial DNA that goes on there. You're all sisters. You're all carrying that same DNA. With a man, he's gone. It's dead. He's not that. But women pass it on. A man does not pass it on through the sperm. So women want help. They want to talk. They want to share. They want to be part of a community. And as a man, it says the masculine trait is we sit here quietly, listen to the stories. You got your beer because she brought it out to you. It's the 50s, remember? Oh, honey, you're home. Who did you kill today? If I told you, we'd both be in trouble. It's classified. And I was working for the boss. He said to delete everything. It will, what do you call it? Delete itself in 10 seconds. Mission Impossible stuff. So a man is supposed to sit here quietly. Why does he not share his stories according to this study? It's because a man is supposed to be a man, according to this. He is supposed to be able to take care of every problem he comes across. He doesn't need somebody's help because he knows how to do it. And if he gets somebody's help, which I'm very, very famous for saying, I will not ask for help. I was drowning in the ocean. I refused to scream for help because I didn't want somebody to hear that as my last words. That's the man thing, I guess. But I guess I'm anima and animus. I've got the man and the woman. Because a man is not supposed to need help from anyone. Man is his own God. He's his own fucking emperor. But I get here and I just can't wait to tell my story. And she's got such good advice. And I'm like, it applies to, I'm not alpha, I'm not beta. I am what I called gamma, but what I turn out to find out is there's something called a sigma that they don't like to be told what to do, and they don't like telling other people what to do, but they can rarely hold a lifestyle that's not riddled with psychological fucking problems.
Whereas you're just life coach, man. You're just all over it. You have to put this in the place.
I believe I am gamma because I don't want to tell anybody what to do any more than I want to be told what to do. It goes the other way sometimes. It depends on the situation. But I've heard that I'm doing just fine. I can go years without going to jail. And yeah. Had a ticket last year, so 2 in the last 2 years, so I'm doing all right. The thing is, we look at this idea of the man and the woman and the psychology and how a woman's supposed to talk, a man's supposed to sit there and not share because he doesn't need anybody's advice. He'll take care of it on his own. A woman is not afraid of the community she lives in. She actually regards them highly. They're the most loved people she has if she brings them in, because if you're here, you're family.
That's right.
ChangeYourAncestry.com. But then I think all these guys that are manly men, they're they're manly men. And you go into the kitchens at parties and they talk about all their problems and their woes and their feelings about politics like they're talking about football. And if somebody doesn't agree with them, they've got problems. So what are they doing? They are pushing their ideas on other people to see if they're okay. And if somebody, like that time they looked at me and they say, they're talking all their stuff in like 2018, 19 in the kitchen at a fucking graduation party. They're talking about all kinds of stuff that even at that time, I didn't care. I didn't care. The guy, that poor guy, hadn't been dangerous enough at the time, in my view, from the things I've seen, to care. But they're talking about him, and they were testing me, and they looked, and the pastor brother-in-law says to me, "What do you think, Archie?" And I looked at him. I turned and I looked at him because I wasn't even looking at him while they were talking. I'm just standing there with my beer. And I looked at him and I said, "I don't buy into any of it." And they shut the fuck up. They quit talking about this stuff. They realized they were not in good company. They were like little bitches shutting the fuck up if somebody didn't agree with them, crying inside.
Yeah.
That's it. They need your attention and support so much that they are becoming the women that psychology is talking about. They're not just telling all the guys this stuff and having manly talk about banging bitches at Mary's Tavern. They're telling their wives.
Right.
They're making sure their wives agree with what they say. They're telling their children. And woe to them that has a 22-year-old fucking gay son, if that happens to be. They're looking for all this attention that they say in the studies women need. So are those studies wrong? Or are these men that thought they were so tough and alpha are such bitches that they are using women's psychology on each other? They have emasculated them. And if you want to doubt that, think about how many men are calling out to God these days. God used to be for the old women and the wives, and the men didn't go to church. They went to church just to make sure their kids listened to their mother, but they didn't fucking care. They were doing shadow signs on the back of the pew while everybody else was sitting down with their 16-year-old kid alone going, "You got to sit down," because he wasn't paying attention. Men do not go to God for support. Men are God. Men use God to make women fear men.